For decades, fighter jets have captured the world's imagination. They became symbols of speed, of dominance, of technological supremacy. Some became legends, some became myths, some became controversies. But one aircraft followed a very different path, the FA-18. It was never the fastest fighter in the sky. It never broke speed records. It never became a movie icon. There are no legends built around it, no myths, no famous final stands that defined an era. And yet, decades later, the FA-18 is still here. Still flying, still launching from aircraft carriers, still trusted with missions that cannot afford failure. This is the story of a fighter jet that never went viral and never needed to. In the public eye, greatness often comes from extremes: the fastest, the stealthiest, the most expensive, the most controversial. In military aviation, fame usually follows the same pattern. The F-14 became a legend. The F-22 became a mystery. The F-35 became a controversy. Speed, stealth, and spectacle dominate public attention and dominate YouTube thumbnails. But war does not reward spectacle. It rewards consistency. It rewards reliability. It rewards aircraft that show up every time they're needed. The FA-18 was never built to impress audiences. It was built to satisfy commanders. From the very beginning, the FA-18 was a compromise. Not a compromise in capability, but a compromise in philosophy. It was designed to do many jobs instead of dominating one: air-to-air combat, ground attack, fleet defense, strike missions, carrier operations. It would not be the fastest fighter in the sky. It would not fly the farthest. It would not redefine air combat. Instead, it would always be ready. That decision shaped everything: its structure, its systems, its role. The FA-18 would be good enough, everywhere, all the time. This made it difficult to categorize, and aircraft without a single defining identity rarely become icons. The FA-18 was designed for aircraft carriers, one of the harshest operating environments in military aviation. Every launch is violent. Every landing is unforgiving. Every mistake is expensive. Space is limited. Time is critical. In this environment, reliability is not a luxury. It is survival. A fighter that looks impressive but cannot be launched repeatedly has no value at sea. The FA-18 was built for this reality. It can absorb punishment, it can land hard, and it can be ready to fly again tomorrow. In carrier aviation, that matters more than fame. While other aircraft became famous, the FA-18 became useful. And usefulness rarely goes viral. What truly sets the FA-18 apart is something rarely discussed: availability. How many aircraft are ready right now? How many can be launched tonight? How many will return, be serviced, and fly again? Wars are not won by single perfect missions. They are won by sustained operations, by aircraft that generate sorties day after day. In this quiet, unglamorous category, the FA-18 excels, and availability does not make headlines. This is why the FA-18 did not disappear when newer aircraft arrived. When the F-35 entered service, many assumed the story was ending, but it wasn't. The F-35 changed how air combat is shaped. The FA-18 ensures air combat actually happens. Different aircraft, different risk profiles, different missions. One defines the battlefield, the other sustains it. This is why the FA-18 stayed, not as a competitor, but as a necessity. So why did the internet never fall in love with the FA-18? Because it lacks drama. No extreme numbers, no cinematic mythology, no single defining moment. It is balanced, predictable, practical. In a digital world obsessed with extremes, balance looks boring. The FA-18 is not the supercar. It is the aircraft you trust when conditions are bad and failure is not an option. Across decades of service, the FA-18 has built a different kind of legacy. Not one of spectacle, but of endurance. It aged without becoming obsolete. It adapted without reinventing itself. It served without demanding attention. Multiple nations still fly it, upgraded, modernized, still relied upon. Not because it inspires awe, but because it inspires confidence. The FA-18 never needed hype to survive. It needed trust. And in military aviation, trust lasts longer than legends. The most important aircraft are not always the most famous. Sometimes they're the ones that simply refuse to disappear.